Hey, I'm mad at someone, so I'm using that energy to make a video instead of lashing out at them, which is bad, very bad. So I figured I'd do a video about another movie that I've seen. I might do another movie review tonight. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. But I wanted to talk about Krampus and what I loved about it, what I didn't love about it. It was made in 2015. Director Michael Dougherty. So that's cool, Irish. I'm also Irish. So I see a bond there. Kind of, sort of, slightly, very vaguely. It's rated PG-13. Fantasy horror. It's there's gonna be spoilers in this, so if you don't like spoilers, then can you go watch another one's YouTube video then? Sorry. But I just wanted to warn you so you're not like, oh man, why did you tell me that? Because like I used to be one of those people that would not ruin things for other people, but like one of my relatives actually once I really wanted to see a movie. And I told him about it, and he's like, oh, this is what happens. And he, like, ruined the whole movie for me. And he, like, literally, like, told me, like, how it ended. And I was like, you suck. So I'm not going to do that to you. Okay, I'm going to give you a warning first before I spoil it for you. Okay? So the stars are of the movie Adam Scott, Toni Collette, and David K. Because I can't pronounce his last name. So we're going to call him David K. And I liked the originality of this film. I liked how it was set in Christmas time. And obviously Krampus is fictional. Because I never really heard of the guy before. I saw the movie. And it begins... this was years ago, so I'm trying to remember what I remember the most. I remember really loving the special effects. I loved the Jack in the Box, was my favorite of the like creatures in the film. I really loved the special effects, and the makeup artist was really good. I loved the special effects. I loved the makeup artist was really good. And like I loved how they did the Krampus. I loved how they did the elves. I loved the setting. I loved how they did the camera shots when they would zoom out and then they'd zoom in again. I loved that it was a Christmas movie, but it was also a horror movie. That was what I enjoyed about it the most, the originality of it, because you don't often see that, like Christmas movies being also horror movies. Well, I don't see it often. Do you? So I thought that was really cool. I'm sure there's, I think once I went to Blockbuster or Family Video. Oh man, don't you feel old? Blockbuster, remember that? Huh? I remember that. I miss it so much. But the Family Video, I guess there's still Family Videos around, I think. So yeah, I always thought Blockbuster would be around. But those are the weird things you think when you're a kid. You think really weird things, and that's something I used to think. Anyways, back to my actual video. It was scary, but I didn't like how they... Well, let me talk about what I liked first. I liked the special effects. I liked the camera shots. I liked the music. I liked the different characters and how they interacted with each other. I thought it was really good. Different mix of like personalities coming together, like, and you got the feeling that it was like kind of like your family, even though it wasn't. And then you felt bad for the older chick, who I think plays like the grandma, the oldest lady there, and I forget her name, so I'm just gonna call her the oldest lady there. So the oldest lady there, I usually don't stereotype old people, but she was kind of old looking. So I'm just gonna say the oldest lady there when I refer to her. Okay, I'm not dissing her age. I just forgot what her name is, honestly. So the oldest lady there, who's kind of like not the glue of the family, but she's like, you're the one that speaks a different language. I was kind of rooting for her. I thought she was really cool. The part where she met the Krampus character face to face, I was like, what's gonna happen? At first I thought he was gonna kill her, but then he didn't, and I was like, that would have been a big twist, a bad idea then. Because later I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, if he would have like took the oldest lady there and did something to her, it would have like ruined the movie, because the storyline of the movie is that Krampus like goes after like the bad people. Well, that's what I got the gist of the movie anyway. So and the oldest lady there, she wasn't really considered a bad person. So I thought that was interesting. And I was rooting for the oldest lady there, and I thought she was badass. I would have liked to see her like do more stunts, maybe. That would have been really cool. Like, you know, the grandma from not Curious George. Why did I almost say Curious George? Why did I say that? From Don't Tell Me. From that older cartoon with the dog. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, if she would have been like kind of like a motherly grandmother, but then also kind of badass grandmother, like mixed in, that would have been kind of cooler to see that. Because I really like powerful female characters who aren't like, who have good hearts, you know. That's like really good combination. Not just like a strong, powerful female character who's independent and don't get in her way kind of thing, but I mean like who has the good qualities too, other than just that to deal with. Because then it's less of a static character and it's more of a character that's you can like relate to more and you feel more for when she has like better qualities than like a character who's kind of a dick, who like doesn't really isn't really nice to other people or doesn't make good choices, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Sorry, sometimes I lose my train of thought. So anyway, my favorite character was the oldest lady there, interestingly. I really liked, now I'll say what I didn't like. Oh, and I liked the special effects with the fire towards the end, like in the snow. That was really cool. I didn't like the snowman. I thought that was kind of weird. But I don't like snowmen like in real life, so that's why that is. It's no like, they're just a hassle to make. And so I wasn't a big fan of the snowman. I thought I could have done without it, but whatever. I understand it's probably for like to add more feeling and more depth to the film. They probably added them there, so you get a better sense of your surroundings and your environment, and you get a better sense of the setting. Is what I'm trying to say, basically. Okay, so now that we've got that sorted out, I liked the running around of the characters. I liked the music was really fast paced and it really worked well with what was happening in the film and added more suspense to it. So that they did a really good job with that. What I didn't like the ending. Okay, I loved the movie until the end when they broke the third or fourth wall. I forget if it's called the third or fourth wall. And then when like, all the characters came out at the screen, I thought it kind of ruined the movie because like I don't like when they break the third or fourth wall like towards the end, and then they don't for the whole entire movie. They don't break the third or fourth wall, but then towards the end when they finally did, it felt like kind of like because it's like the audience knows like we're in a movie, like, so I don't like when people break the third or fourth wall unless it's like, you know what I mean, like in not Romeo and Juliet, but you know what I mean, like if it's in a play and that one of the main characters is like off to the side doing a monologue, or maybe in another film. I don't think they do monologues in films, do they? I don't think they do, just in plays. So anyway, when like the main character is doing a monologue or something in the corner, I mean not corner because plays don't have corners, probably so you can see. There we go, bingo. Probably so you can actually see the characters and they're not like hiding so you can't see them. That's why we don't have corners in plays. That was really stupid of me to say, but I'll go on. So anyway, I didn't actually mean corner, you know what I mean? I meant like, you know what I mean. So when they're off to the side and the character's just doing a monologue, I think that's really cool, especially if the other characters don't know about the monologue, or maybe they do a little bit. It adds more like, kind of like, oh, you're kind of like sympathize more like with the monologue, with what's going on in the monologue there, and you're kind of invested more into that character, and you're kind of like have more of a feeling for the character's like personality and everything, and perhaps what the character went through too. I didn't like the breaking the third or fourth wall. I give this movie probably like 3.5 stars, and I'm being generous with the stars because it's a corny movie. Like there are some parts where I was like, okay, this is corny, and I know corny because I'm a corny person, kind of, sort of. So I know corny. Like I watched Duck Soup when I was younger, and like to this day I like my like I don't understand why the Three Stooges are that funny, because I'm not for violence, but I have respect for them for like being comedians and making people laugh and stuff, but I just don't find their sort of humor funny. But I understand why some people might find them funny because it's a different type of humor. And corny humor is kind of like my favorite kind of humor, kind of. I don't know, like, yeah, I guess it is, yeah. Let's see, what else? I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video too long. Have an awesome day.